Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with,
Michael Anthony Fitness.
and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting. What?
It's 1 o'clock.
What about 1 o'clock?
It's not. It's the afternoon.
What did I do wrong?
You say good morning.
Oh,
It's whatever. That's all good.
good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here with,
Michael Anthony Fitness.
and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm sitting here watching the master at work here. You can't, the master, well, seriously. No, I'm going to be honest with you. See, everybody has talents and things that they're good at. See, me, I'm good at ripping shit out and having a vision of what I want to have happen.
Yeah, I'm good
But
at ripping stuff out too.
Right. But see, the thing that I hate the most is finishing shit, okay? I get 97% of the way. That last 3% is the hardest part for me, and I hate doing finished work and stuff. See, you saw me make all these panels. See, I got all the measurements in my head. I cut it and all that, shape it and everything else. But sanding it and varnishing and staining it, that ain't me. And that's where...
You're the one that varnished. Stained everything.
Well, that's true. I did stain it. But the varnish part, hey, beautiful one. She just went for a walk. See, we're having a competition. We're having a competition now. See, she's mad because I beat her to 50,000 steps. So she's out like on her lunch break, walking, trying to get ahead of me. So, I do have the advantage of always having to be on my feet, and I don't sit behind the desk. But you can see Mike is working on the varnish here on this bar for a Redskin fan, and being a Redskin fan, they're gonna have to drink a lot. They definitely gonna have to drink a lot. But anyway, what?
I was looking at it as a Redskin fan, so it kind of looks like their colors.
I don't look like no burgundy and gold.
I said it looks like the burgundy.
Okay. I must be colorblind then.
I said it looks
But
like it.
so we got this football season that's hopefully gonna happen.
Oh well, the question is, are not fans or not? That's the only thing.
Well, and see that this is my thing. See, Mike Fisher was talking yesterday about the team that'll win the Super Bowl. He actually brought up a great point. One of the things there's things that are different between winning and losing, like turnovers and takeaways. When you can get the ball more than you turn it over, chances are you're going to win more than you lose. I mean, that's just one of those things that are given. Another one is health. If you lose your quarterback, chances of going to the Super Bowl are greatly reduced unless you are like the Eagles. We're fortunate to have Nick Foles not once but twice. But now as we go through and start thinking about the coronavirus is going to change everything. Because now you got to look and say, okay, how many players am I going to lose? Am I going to lose, like, let's say my whole offensive line, or if I lose my quarterback? And for some people, it may end up being I tested positive and I got a sniffle and I'm okay. Other people, it ends up being that they are weak for weeks. So almost more than anything, keeping your team corona-free may be one of the determining factors of actually making a Super Bowl. Right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
It depends on who you are.
That's what I'm saying. It definitely depends on who you are.
If you're the Patriots...
Well, the Patriots will be in better shape than most teams because they always have a deep roster. It's not top heavy. And see, this is where it could be, for our Cowboys, we're top heavy with personnel. And so, like, if you lose Dak and Amari Cooper and things like that, or if you lose all your offensive line, you don't necessarily have great players that can step in, but this is going to affect everybody across the board. But I'm going to tell you another thing that's really going to change the landscape big time. And people haven't really thought about this too much or haven't mentioned this. The big thing is going to be, think about, say, Seattle. Seattle is known for the 12th man, right? And if you've ever been to
Seattle and
Kansas City. But okay. Now I went to the game that Sean Lee got knocked out, okay, by Golden Tate. Sean Lee was running in this direction and he went to go chase. And all of a sudden, here comes Golden Tate, hit him right smack dab in the face. I mean, it was a vicious hit. But I remember going to that game, and Bob Kelly, who's a Giant fan, he lives in Seattle, he's the one that really turned me on into sipping rum. So I can't say everything's bad about Giant fans, but Bob Kelly, he turned me on to the Ron Zappa. Okay, the Zappa rum, that's some good stuff. So at least he's got some good taste. But he told me, get some earplugs before you go to the game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, seriously, dude, get some earplugs. I said, man, it ain't gonna be that loud. Oh my God. Seattle, the way that it's designed with the way the roofs are, it basically sends the sound back in, and the bleachers, the concrete's hollow, so it reverberates. When you leave that stadium after a game, you feel like your body's on edge, like you're still vibrating from the sound. It was literally so loud. I'm right next to my wife. I've got my hands cupped, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, and she can't hear me. So when you think about having that kind of an advantage that you are used to having, and we know how Seattle usually is really, really good at home and almost unbeatable, that is going to be taken away if, there's no way in the world I can see that there's going to be more than 50% of the capacity. I don't know that you're going to be able to have that much, especially now that you're now looking at, like Arizona and Texas and Florida, those areas now closing down bars and cutting down meeting of under, over 50 people and stuff. You don't know how long that's going to last. If that lasts into the season, you're not going to be able to have those crowds like you do before. And that's another one for, say, Kansas City, because Kansas City is another one of those ones that has that home crowd advantage. That's going to help be a great equalizer. So yeah, this is going to be a season like none other, and it may literally end up coming down to being like a game of the replacements. Have you ever seen Keanu Reeves, which was a parody of the Strikes shortened season, where you're going to have people playing that literally might have been working at Walmart the week before, having to fill in because of the coronavirus. It's going to be really how good you can coach not just your frontline guys, but the second tier guys. Wouldn't you agree with that, Mike?
Do what?
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just like when he was a little kid, never listened to dad. I was saying that when you think about this season, that it may not only be about coaching your regular players, that you may be getting guys from Walmart that were working last week that end up having to play valuable time for you. And it's going to be how well you can coach those guys up to be able to play in your system. So we may see a lot of sloppy football this year. It's going to be interesting. It really and truly is going to be interesting. And one thing I can guarantee you is that my cousin Daniel, he's going to be here at the bar having quite a few drinks, because them Redskins, they going to make you drink big time. It is a pretty piece of wood, though. So we get this done, then I've got to make the countertops. We're going to actually have a laminated countertop with a bar sink that goes in it, and then he's going to get a granite one for the actual bar itself. And we have to go install it. So we got to actually change the doors. So we got to do some drywall work over there as well at his house. So later on this week, we hope to get there and do that. What are you guys doing to help pass the time during the coronavirus? Are you working full capacity? Are you keeping your ass at home? Are you wearing a mask? One final thing. Some of these things could be hard to talk about. This coronavirus. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe it's real, and that's fine. I mean, you're free to believe what you want to believe, and so on. As I am free to believe that it's real. When I talk to Q and he shows me a text message from a family member that talks about the people who have died in the last couple of days, as well as the other ones that are in the hospital about to die. When I think about my friend Ellen, who I just built a desk for, losing her mother. When I think about my friend Michelle, who lives in Australia, and her not being able to see her dad and listening to him gurgling, dying from coronavirus over the phone. And when I think about people like Peoples Aguilar, who's been in the hospital and struggling with this, and I think about the people that are unemployed. I think about all of the people, and things like that. Understand, I am going to continue to do what I do, which is say, listen, be responsible and be a world citizen and look out for others. Maybe this thing is blown out more than what we think. Maybe. But here's the thing. If you wear a mask and you didn't necessarily need one, okay, then cool. Nobody gets hurt. But if you don't wear a mask and it turns out you did, then people do get sick and die. And if you don't want to hear me, I'm okay. I'm okay if because I had somebody go in here who's been a fan and a follower for a long time and says that it's all bullshit and it's the new world order, that they're trying to indoctrinate us and this, that, and the other. That's fine if that's what you believe. But I'm going to believe that I'm going to do everything I can to try and take care of everybody else. And that is, I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to wear a mask. And I'm not going to take chances that I don't need to. And maybe, just maybe, if we all do that, or have been doing that for several months now, maybe we'd be like Europe, that is beginning to open up and start to get back to life. So, I ain't mad at any of you. I'm not mad at you. Coronavirus has become the new Colin Kaepernick that we had a few years ago. That it literally is driving a wedge between people. But instead of driving a wedge, how about we get this stuff figured out together and work as a country to try and save and make all of us better? All right? That's my goal. And I'll see you guys soon, because I got to get out here on the side of the house. I got to fix this rotten wood. See you soon.